Presentation module. After the model is assembled in the assembly module, a presentation file can be created using it. A presentation file is a file in which a view of an assembly is exploded and can be animated. It can also be rotated so that it can be viewed from different angles. It is to be elaborated that presentation and animation features in SolidWorks is better than other softwares. All parameters in this chapter are described according to SolidWorks. It has following options. Exploded view. Tweaking. An exploded view shows the assembly as if it were dismantled and the components of the assembly shown in the order and orientation that they fit together to create the assembly. Assemblies can be exploded automatically, tweaked manually, or a combination of the two methods, complete with trails. A tweak is the distance that the part is moved from the grounded part, while the trails are the lines in an exploded view that show the relationship of the component to the assembly. Combined, they indicate the direction and distance that a component was moved to create the view. Exploded assembly drawings are used in design presentations, catalogs, and assembly instruction. Tweaking is the process of moving the components from the grounded component. The tweak is the distance measured from the grounded unit. In the automated explosion method, the tweak distance is same for each part. If the tweak distance is set to 35, that means the first part is 35 millimeters from its location and the second part is 70 millimeters, etc. To tweak components manually, use the tweak component command. Assembly animation is a process of creating a sequence of movements and operations of an assembly to show how its components interact with each other. There are several types of assembly animation techniques that can be used, depending on the purpose and complexity of the animation. Some of the common types of assembly animation are given below. Basic animation, exploded view animation, motion study animation, make controller animation, path animation. The basic animation is the simplest form of assembly animation that involves creating a sequence of movements or operations of an assembly using keyframes. Basic animation is ideal for demonstrating the overall functionality of the assembly and the relationship between the components. Exploded view animation. The assembly is exploded into its individual components, which are then moved or rotated to show how they fit together. Exploded view animation is useful for demonstrating the assembly process and the interaction between the components. Motion study is a powerful tool that allows to simulate the motion and behavior of an assembly under various conditions, such as gravity, friction, and collision. Motion study animation is ideal for demonstrating the dynamic behavior of the assembly and identifying any potential design issues. Make controller allows to control the movement and behavior of components in an assembly by changing the values of mates. Make controller animation is ideal for creating complex and interactive animations that involve the interaction between multiple components. Path animation. A component is constrained to move along a predefined path or curve. Path animation is useful for demonstrating the movement of a component in a specific pattern or trajectory. Terminologies. The Motion Manager interface gives you access to the animation, basic motion, and SolidWorks motion tools. This single interface controls all the tools. Animation uses the keyframe method, where the software interpolates between positions established by mates, freehand drag, or positioning via the triad or XYZ values. Don't confuse animation with dynamic assembly motion, which is simply dragging parts in an assembly with the cursor to create motion. Simple animation. Assembly components restrict or allow relative motion in specific directions known as degree of freedoms. Complex components restrict or allow relative motion in specific time duration. Basic motion uses motors, springs, gravity, and so on. It doesn't use keyframes. It includes the physical dynamics feature, which deals with the calculation of motion due to collisions. The process of adjusting the position of connected assembly components in a specified direction relative to other components of assembly is called tweaking. Parametric lines that display the path and direction of the assembled parts are called trails. SolidWorks motion. If you need detailed input and output, including graph functions, SolidWorks motion is the best choice. This option isn't available in the SolidWorks standard level of the software. Zenotation spot if you need a function that's only allowed in another type of motion study. You need to change the motion study type in the drop-down selection box in the upper left corner of the Motion Manager. The default option is Animation, and the other two available options are Basic Motion and Motion Analysis. Motion Analysis is available only if you have SOLIDWORKS Motion turned on in the Tools Add-ins dialog box, and that's available only if you have SOLIDWORKS Premium or SOLIDWORKS Simulation Professional. You can see the study type box in the interface. Zenotation spot, another method that you can use to capture screen motion to a movie file, is by using the Record Video tool. View Screen Capture, Record Video. The Record Video tool also appears as a toolbar button on the Screen Capture toolbar. You can use Record Video to record whatever happens in the graphics window, from using the rollback bar to dynamic assembly motion dragging parts with the cursor. You can animate distance mates, angle mates, part appearance, including display modes, shaded, wireframe, and so on. Art transparency, part visibility, part position, view/zoom state, camera position, and properties. Within SOLIDWORKS, there are 3 types of animations that you can create: animation, basic motion, and motion control. These can be produced using the Motion Manager, which is available in all SOLIDWORKS versions and is built seamlessly into the SOLIDWORKS interface. To animate an assembly in SOLIDWORKS, right-click to place a key or select Auto Key, Animation Only, to place a key automatically. To animate other assembly components, place the time bar to specify the duration of the animation sequence. Drag the assembly component to its position at the next key point of the animation sequence. Click Record Video, Screen Capture toolbar, or View Screen Capture, Record Video. In the Record Screen Capture to File dialog box, click Save. Do one of the following. 1. Manipulate your model in the graphics area. 2. Click Stop Video Record or View Screen Capture, Stop Video Record to end the video. To start a motion study in SOLIDWORKS, you can click on Motion Study 1 tab on the lower left corner of SOLIDWORKS user interface. Make sure to click on Expand Motion Manager to display the SOLIDWORKS Motion Manager timeline view. The first thing you need to do is to select the type of simulation you want to perform.